Well guys, it seems like the trap metal community is back at it again because recently there's been a bit of a story and back and forth about an artist known as Undead Papi. Now a lot of people wanted me to cover this situation, and for the most part I don't usually do this if I don't know who the artist is or if I don't have any context around it. A lot of people will send me just random screenshots of their supposed friend who's an artist. And people will tell me this and that, and for the most part I just don't get involved because I don't really like to post private DMs even if somebody else sends them to me. I only really like to cover public information depending on who it is. Like, of course, for somebody like Young Rare, I probably wouldn't make that distinction because he's actually been caught on a serious crime. He has paperwork and everything related to it. But I actually am aware of who Undead Papi is because after that whole situation with Rare and King, when all the information came out, a lot of Rare's friends started to leave him, including Leprosy, Zero Trash, but Undead Papi was somebody who actually stuck with Rare. And I'm not saying that he can't do that, but it was kind of strange because he was also trying to collaborate with King at the same time, so he wanted to play both sides, which I guess I understand from a business sense, but it is a little bit weird. He wants to stay impartial. And when it comes to most beefs, I would understand that, but when it comes to this situation where, you know, Rare has been accused of some pretty serious stuff, I would probably not be wanting to play both sides, especially with all the conflict that happened between King and Rare. But I mean, that's his choice and I'm not going to fault him on that. And then after that, I never really thought much about it. I was like, okay, he's kind of working with both sides. I'm probably not going to hear from the guy again. But then randomly the other day, he started posting on his story, and there's been a little bit of shit going on between him and his girlfriend. So yeah, I'm just going to read it off and get into this situation, but I just want people to know that people asked me to talk about this, so I don't want anyone saying I'm trying to slander him or make a side. I don't really care. I'm staying unbiased in the situation. I just wanted to give you my context of who I know him as a person, and then I'm going to read the screenshots and you make your own opinion, okay? Can we do that? So basically, Undead Papi has been living with his girlfriend for some unknown period of time, and then suddenly the other night he decided to kick her out because supposedly she was threatening to kill her cat and kill herself. So he ended up kicking her out, but she said that she still needed to get her stuff, so when she came back, she ended up brandishing a knife and cutting his hand. And then he posted this story, which I do have to censor, but as you can see here, it's a pretty nasty cut. So of course, a lot of fans are wondering what's going on here. Why is his hand cut open? How did this happen? And then she started posting on her own story, trying to tell her side of the story. So she starts off by posting a story of her boob where it's kind of beat up and there's a couple red marks, and she says, Undead Papi did this. I'm going to keep posting till I get justice. I don't care how many times Instagram takes it down. And then after that, she posts, Instagram took my last post down, but I will keep posting about this situation. This mad beat me and held me down, told me to himself, manipulated me, threatened not only me but my family as well. The allegations get even worse when she posts a story saying he is 22 and I'm 17. I'm not the first he's done this to either. This man is malicious and evil as fuck. And then she tags Undead Papi. Following it up with saying sick and tired of the internet glorifying this woman, and then she adds his main. Following that up by saying, I literally have my best friend hold on to these photos for my own safety, but I'm lying. So basically she's showing all these pictures of her. She's got a couple red marks on her face, a couple red marks on her boob and leg, and she sent that to her friend. So apparently if this situation ever went down, she would have the pictures. She posted this story saying, doing a detailed story time tomorrow on TikTok, followed up by saying, I really didn't want to have to do this. I thought I loved this man. Yeah, I'm probably delusional for this shit, but whatever, shit happens. My heart aches. I've dropped 20 pounds because of this man, and now I'm learning I'm not the first he's come to do this to. I'm sick to my stomach. I can barely eat. I just want to disappear. This man ruined my mental health and confidence to another level. It's me even more sick to my stomach that he's lying about the situation. I will admit to my doings. Yeah, I cut your hand, but you should have never laid your hands on me. Never should have choked me. You pinned me down and told me to kill myself. You called me manipulating and a whore and belittled me to the point I ended up relapsing. I have no remorse for you and I never will. You truly give me the worst pain I've ever experienced, and I wish that upon no one, not even my worst enemy. Here she's basically saying that she did actually cut his hand, but she was doing it in self-defense because he was trying to attack her in the first place. She's also mentioning that she had to lose a lot of weight in the relationship, so overall she's saying it was kind of abusive from the start, as well as saying that there's a pretty big age gap between the two. But even with that said, even if she is 17, they actually live in New York, and I'm not saying it's right or not, a little bit weird, but 17 is the legal age in New York, so he's not doing anything criminal in that capacity. I also just want to mention that in a couple of these stories, it seems like she's directly replying to something that he said, but we don't have any stories on his side until a little bit later on. So what I'm assuming is happening here is he's talking shit about her in the DMs and she's replying to it publicly on her story, so we can't really tell exactly what he's saying behind closed doors, but we will get his side of the story in a little bit. But for now, let's look at what she posted on TikTok. So the first one we got got here, I'm not sure if it's directly related, but she says when you over exercise without eating and it actually affects me one day, and then it's her passing out. And basically she's saying that Undead Papi wouldn't let her eat, so that's probably related. She posts kind of a funny video of him chopping up some meat and saying, I don't know how I didn't see the crazy in his eyes. Followed up by a string of messages saying maybe in another universe you weren't abusive, maybe in another universe you've seen the way you traumatized me, maybe in another universe I could open up to you without it starting an argument, and then so on and so on, basically saying that he was controlling, abusive, and that she could never come to him for anything because he would always want to start a fight. And then she continues on by saying he loves me, but does he really, showing all the pictures I talked about previously. And then he says, we're gonna see who bitch made, I will make you remember every trauma you ever went through, pushing it and see if there's any mercy for infidel whores like yourself. You have done everything in your power to make yourself an enemy, so don't cry when the end result doesn't go in your favor. I just gotta say, that's definitely some insane messages there, saying an infidel whore and all that. That's definitely some incel rhetoric right there. But once again, I have to keep the same energy that I had for Rare. I don't like to take messages too seriously because people can screw with them or edit them or make them look worse than they actually are out of context. But yeah, this is definitely insane. She says, when he wanted a female with self-respect but beat me up and cheated on me with a pregnant prostitute. So these allegations are getting out of control. She said, what you do if I lay my hands on you? And then she posted, you fucked around and found out, aim for the neck next time, bozo. Basically showing the picture of him with his hand cut open. Kind of feel like she shouldn't have posted this one because I feel like she's trying to make herself look like the victim, and she definitely could be in this situation, we don't know, but by posting stuff like this it makes both of you guys look bad. She's definitely upset and she has the right to be, but it just seems kind of weird to post stuff like this. Okay, so now leaving TikTok and getting back to Instagram, she posted an old conversation between the two of them where he said, you my type then, what you doing this weekend, next week? And she said, nothing really, just finishing my finals. How old are you? He said, same, I'm 22. Where you go to school? She said, Matt, I'm 17 though. Damn, me too, and fuck for how much longer? 4 months. Said, it's okay, that's not too bad. I don't mind getting to know you before we do nothing intimate. We did get intimate. Okay, so this is definitely pretty damning looking at this. Once again, I do want to say that 17 is legal in New York. I'm not sure if she's from New York, but we don't want to call this anything too extreme, and these messages could be out of context, but this definitely looks pretty bad for Papi. She then goes on to post another picture saying, don't get me wrong, my body is still beautiful, but this man literally made me drop pounds in a matter of weeks, not in a healthy way. Post another picture, said I had more weight in my chest/face. She then shows another picture where she said, let's not forget the times he'd call me with a gun to his head to gaslight and manipulate me. And this is basically meant to reply to the fact that he said that she tried herself after he kicked her out. Like, looking at this picture, it doesn't seem like he's trying to do anything too weird. It kind of looks like he's just being silly with a gun to his head. This is kind of what trap metal artists do. Maybe he's being manipulative, but the picture doesn't really look like somebody who's trying to fuck with somebody. Once again, I don't know. I don't really have any stock in this one way or the other, but I know sometimes people will post inflammatory pictures trying to get people riled up, and then when they get mad and they don't fully understand the situation. Let's not forget this also happened with King, and people got overly mad before they really knew what happened. So just want to say that. He then posted a story saying, this totally is not your messy ass house, and your unhygienic ass motherfucker would beg me to clean his house. I don't really know why this is relevant. I guess he's dirty, and that's not really that bad of an accusation compared to everything else she's levying, but I guess she's going for the throat. He then posted a story saying, definitely weren't together. This was totally Photoshop. You guys, the matching and all y'all. I'm sorry, that's how she wrote it. She writes a little bit weird, but yeah, basically I think she's replying to the fact that he was trying to say that she was just a groupie and they weren't actually together, but she's proving that they actually were a couple. Once again, I feel like she's just fighting with stuff that he's saying in the DMs right now, or saying to other people, and she's taking it to her story, but we haven't heard anything from Undead until this point. And finally he responds by posting a couple messages saying, 17 babe, really? And then he said, she lied, lol, she's literally my colleague. She didn't tell me she was 17 until 2 weeks ago, which is exactly why I was in even more of a rush to leave, but she kept threatening me and trying to blackmail me. I thought coming to New York would de-escalate the situation, but I guess not, lol. I'd laugh my ass off. I don't know why people think I'd risk my career over mid-skid stained panty wearer. How many 17-year-olds you know that go to college? Make it make sense. This last post I'm gonna make because it's a waste of energy. My pettiness just got the best of me. And I feel like this is a good move on his part because you definitely have to address this. I know a lot of times people don't even want to entertain when somebody tries to accuse them of something so heinous, but when she's accusing you of being kind of a then you definitely want to at least address that one allegation. So he's basically saying she wasn't 17, or at least he didn't know she was 17. Her messages kind of go against that narrative, but we don't know. Maybe she did lie and that's doctored. I'm not sure what's going on here. And then we got animal abuse coming into the situation once again when they said I would abuse the fuck out of them, kick them across the room, starve them, terrible. And somebody responds, dude, no wonder his cat acts the way he does. His several is so aggressive and it won't let anyone pet him. Now I see why. Yeah, he abuses his cat bad. He says, you're so sped, my other cats were fat rad as fuck and we're the friendliest cats ever and I can have hella people vouch for me on it. You're the one who threatened to several. How many times? Question mark. You're making fake screenshots won't unskid your panties. What the fuck? So basically he's saying the screenshots are fake, and I know this isn't a funny situation, but I don't know why he's so obsessed with the skid mark panties. This is super weird because Rare also had animal abuse in his situation, woman abuse, and shitty panties apparently. That's right, I was told that young Rare also kept his shitty underwear all over the house, so I don't know why poopy panties keep getting involved in these situations, but it's super weird. It says it's comedic. There are actually some people still defending this dirty ass stained panty wearing 403 who threatens to you can cut me, but put a hand on my several and you finna turn to ground beef, and then I'ma feed you to him. And then he actually posts a picture of her dirty panties. Very classy on his part, I have to say. Or them posting another screenshot of a conversation between the two saying, I wasn't enough, that's why you're moving on, I'm not pretty enough, stop trying to victim blame, you were the abuser and aggressor in every situation, you think I don't know that? She responds. He posts a caption saying, if you can read the screenshot and still somehow come at me telling me to like I'm not the victim here, you are mentally unwell. Yeah, that's basically the entire way that Undead Papi responded to the situation. He called her a dirty butt multiple times and then kind of addressed a couple things saying that she's the abuser. It's kind of a he said she said situation. Okay, so before we end this video, apparently there was a bunch more screenshots that I missed that Undead Papi posted. So first he posted a video of him with his hand cut open, which I can't show of course because it's super gory. He posted a screenshot saying you're a complete buffoon if you believe any of that shit she's saying. She lied about everything. She goes to my college. She lied about her age and she put those marks on herself, and she even admitted that herself last time she posted. He said nobody touched her. I reached out the window to hand her some stuff she left at my place that she forced me to give her by threatening me, and then she cut a gash in my hand. Laughed my ass off. I didn't even unlock the door because I knew some shit like this was gonna happen. She'd done this before and somehow she the victim now. Laughing emoji, skull emoji. Imagine faking screenshots. Here's some real ones. You were the abuser and aggressor in every situation. You think I don't know that? Pussy, I'll kill you. You're mine, whether you like it or not. I'll kill any bitch, blah blah blah, I'll kill you, you're mine, I'll kill you, your life. Yeah, it goes on and on. He says you're abusive and manipulative. I'm sick of being stuck in this toxic ass situation. Actually, I don't post shit till you threaten to break up with me. Well, how do I say it? You're kind of stuck. And then he said, yeah, you're right. He posted another screenshot of one of her messages saying, I'm gonna make this story your time, you're interrupting me. And he said keyword make, because she threatened me plenty times and she would lie, and if you think a girl who constantly uses self-harm as a way to blackmail wouldn't scrag, you spit. He posts more messages of her saying, I'm really sorry, I feel guilty about everything I've done, I'm sorry I can't let you go, I really do love you, it hurts me that I hurt you so much to the point you want nothing to do with me and you go as far as moving to get away from me. I'll never forgive myself for what I did and how much I destroyed this relationship, and I'll never move on from you. You showed me true love and I took advantage. I'm sorry. And then she said, Kay, I'm going to your crib, I'm popping your tires and spraying paint all over your shit, letting your cat out too, you threatened me again and I'm getting my shit. Watch this. Once again, these messages could be out of context. She's saying that his messages are out of context. He's saying that hers are out of context, so we don't really know. Overall, the relationship seems to be really toxic. I mean, it could be one of two things. I'm not saying a young girl can't be really toxic and immature, but at the same time, with him being older, he definitely could rev her up and then get her upset and then post what she does online. This is pretty common in abusive relationships. Somebody will poke and prod until the person gets upset, and then when they explode, they basically post their meltdown online to kind of say, look, they're crazy. Everything they do to me is crazy. I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm just saying that could be the case, or maybe she really just is like this. And he posted another picture of his bloody hand saying somehow she the victim. All I did was give her stuff, laugh my ass off. I'm just saying, bro, if I had a cut like that on my hand, I don't think I'd be taking a bunch of videos of my whip. I think I'd be getting the hell to the hospital as fast as I can because that's so much blood coming out of there. It looks like a cherry pie. He said call the cops on her ass, and he said nope, they keep asking me to talk and I keep saying no. I'm at the ER getting stitched up. Not my nature. Something much greater than myself will deal with her. He says snitching is never okay in my book. Although it's hard for me to get justice in any other way, I trust the universe. It holds all accountable in due time. I mean, I understand this, but I feel like this is a really toxic mentality. If you're not in a gang, I feel like snitching on your girlfriend for cutting your hands open, abusing you, and threatening you probably is a reason to tell the cops. I feel like that doesn't go against the gang politics, I guess. I don't know. I'm not in the streets, so I can't say, but I feel like definitely you should call the cops if some shit like this happens to you. He goes on to say you're a sexist pig if you think men can't be abused. I was stabbed. She big chunks out of my flesh, tased me, pointed loaded guns at me hella times, hit me, clawed me constantly, and all she has to show is a scratch she put on her own face. It's not even visible. I really wish I had pictures of every time she injured me. My story would go on forever. And this definitely makes it weird because I understand as a guy, when you're getting hit by your girlfriend, it doesn't really occur to you that you should take pictures, because oftentimes when you're a guy and you're getting beat on, you don't really take it seriously because girls can't hurt you all that bad. I know that a lot of times that's how it is. It's like, okay, my girlfriend hit me, but it's not a big deal. She's just playing around. But if you don't have any pictures to prove that she injured you, it's kind of just a he said, she said situation again. You know, he has one cut on his hand that looks pretty gnarly, and then she has a couple marks on her face that looks pretty bad too. But right now, if we don't have any other pictures of any other injuries, we can't really prove that either one was abusing each other constantly. And I'm not trying to sound like a piece of shit here. My heart really does go out to him if he's actually getting abused by his girlfriend. It's never fun to get hit by your partner, and it's not right to do it all, but I just have to stick to the facts and say that this is all we got right now. Then post, you lie to me. I say I'm not comfortable and don't want to be around you. You say you finna if I leave and manipulate and abuse me for how long, but then you want to expose me for the same thing I cut you off for. Make it make sense. And then he posts, nobody besides sexist people believe you, even your own people see the truth. And then he posts a screenshot of somebody saying, luckily I saw this, I was about to believe her, man. He then posts another message to somebody who's kind of in the middle saying, I'm sorry that this happened to you, but I also feel bad for her. I hope you both heal. And then he posts another message, which I believe is her, saying, fuck you, I just broke my hand and ruined my life and my trip. I'm done with everything and everybody, and don't come calling my phone after. I said this because even one call and I'll block you. I'm at my breaking point. And then he says, imagine trying to use something from Friday to deny what I did. I broke my thumb. You cut my hand nowhere near my thumb. And then he posts another message to somebody basically saying that he needs to put his side of the story back on Instagram so all the people from TikTok don't just immediately take her side. And he says, back up it goes then, I guess. LOL, I don't even know what to do, but it's whatever. And he posts a story saying victimizing himself if he's not in the wrong. I'm well aware I put myself in that situation, but for people to speak on it and defend him is disgusting. Everything I've done to him was an outcome of what he did to me. For those saying, why did you let it go on for so long? I left for a reason. It says, I'm the one who left, laughed my ass off. She lied so much, laughed my ass off. How long I tried to leave and you blackmailed me. So once again, she's saying something and he's saying the exact opposite. But all I want to say, if you're actually somebody saying that she didn't get abused because she stuck with them, in these situations, a lot of times the person getting abused is scared, or they think they're going to get threatened, their family may get hurt, or they're even scared their partner might if they leave, so they're stuck in a kind of bad situation where they don't know what to do. This is the absolute worst argument to make at somebody who's getting abused, trying to blame them for sticking around with somebody. That's not the way to go about it. There's mental manipulation and everything else involved. I'm not saying that I'm taking her side here, but people making that argument, just don't do that. And I would say the same thing for him. If anyone's trying to say that he's in the wrong because he stuck with her when he knew that she was abusive, that's not true. That's not the way to go about it. You don't know the full situation. Don't try to make that argument. And then he posted way more screenshots of her talking crazy, and I feel like I'm just gonna let these play out and you can read them if you want, because overall it's kind of just the same thing. Basically, he's saying that she was threatening him, a lot of crazy shit there, blackmail. It's all the same stuff he was already levying, but just kind of trying to reinforce it. And then after all of those, he posts one more screenshot where she says, I know I'm a narcissist, goodbye. And then he put a bunch of crying emojis and said, right. He said, I'm sorry, I know this all looks messy and trashy as fuck, but I gotta defend myself. I can't let someone sit here and lie on my name like that. He then posts this video.
She really keep bringing up that photo with me smiling in it, like she wasn't the one actually trying to kill her. But besides that, I think she don't realize how ridiculous this all is, because she expects all y'all people to believe a nigga built like me hit her or strangle her or do whatever to her, and the only marks you can possibly show is a clear hickey, not even a bruise, and some type of shit she tried to scratch on herself that you really can't even see. Like, she didn't even try with that one. But if a nigga like me hits you, your pale white ass there's gonna be a mark. So I want to see the mark. I want to see all the marks. You need to show these people the mark because we're not really seeing anything.
Of him talking about her posting that video on her TikTok, of him smiling and looking crazy, and I tend to agree. I feel like that doesn't say anything whatsoever. He was making a funny face while he was cutting meat. That doesn't mean he's insane. Then he posts an absolutely insane picture of him at the gym saying, "You really think I'm not leaving marks? Yeah, right?" Like, what the fuck kind of flex is this, bro? Okay, I get it. You're trying to say that you would leave marks if you actually hit her, but I feel like this is not the way to go about it. I'm not trying to laugh. I know this is a fucked up situation, but he's basically saying, like, if I beat a bitch, I would do it right. Yeah, weird. And then finally, he posts one more screenshot of another girl basically saying, "This is crazy. I want to give my 2 cents," talking about how he feels bad for her and him and saying that they need some time apart. Him basically posting, "Laugh my ass off, even your followers believe me," which I feel like isn't true. I feel like the followers don't know who to believe because it seems crazy on both sides and nobody really knows the true story here. Anyways, I'm sorry this video was so messy. I think I found all the allegations, and as I was making the video, I just kept finding more and more screenshots. I tried my best not to leave anything out whatsoever. I don't want anyone to say I'm playing one side by leaving screenshots out, so if I did, let me know and I will cover them in another video. But for now, I'm just trying to say I'm biased. I'm sorry if I said anything that made anybody offended. I'm not trying to make light of abuse or anything to go along with it. This video is definitely not getting monetized, but I feel like the situation is worth speaking on. And I definitely feel like more information is going to come out on this situation, but right now I don't want to show anything that I got in private. Some people did send me DMs and conversations between the two, but I don't want to get overly involved unless it keeps going, and I feel like it's only right to cover the public information, at least for now. But as I said on Instagram, a lot of you guys have to hold your horses. I'm not saying that he didn't do something bad, but if the legal age is 17, I'm not saying it's not creepy. I wouldn't do it myself, and maybe he didn't know, but calling him a or groomer or trying to put him on the same level as Young Rare is not helpful. I know the two work with each other, so it is kind of strange, but Young Rare actually got convicted of some serious crimes. His girlfriend came out against him, talked about it. Every friend around him has come out against Young Rare. He is an actual proven weirdo. Undead Papi, we need to give him some allowance, because if we just start throwing around the P word for everybody that we don't like, that is not going to help anybody out, and all that's going to do is make real life allegations seem less serious if we start throwing it around too much. So I hope you understand. I feel like I was pretty charitable here to Undead. I know he doesn't like people talking about the situation. I feel like it was worth bringing to light. And overall, I just want to say it is a little weird that he was actually judging King for the exact same thing, and now these allegations are coming out. I guess everybody has dirty laundry, but we'll see what happens in the near future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely tell me what you think, or if there's any more information you might have on this situation. I'll also talk to Undead Papi if he wants to talk to me, but you have to come at me calm. Yeah, leave a knife emoji in the comments below. Tell me what you think. Definitely subscribe, trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and tune in because we're going to have the newest trap metal news whenever it comes out. So thank you guys so much. Bye.